What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Good Trouble After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. We are discussing Season 1, Episode 2, titled The Coterie, with a very special guest, so stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Good Trouble After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. We are so excited. We have a full panel today, and we're ready to rock and roll. But we also have a very, very special guest, so please welcome to the studio, Mr. Tommy Martinez. How are you today?
Doing great. How about you guys?
Good. Thank you so much for coming in. We're so excited to have you here. We've got a lot to talk about, your character, Gael, and I'm sure you're ready to spill.
Yeah.
All right. All right. And of course, we're joined by our panel here. My name is Dakota T. Jones, and this is...
Hey guys, I'm Chae Jones.
What's up, guys? I'm Taylor Gates.
What's up, y'all? I'm Meagan Lynn.
This is the first time we've been on a panel together, and the fact that we both have the last name, believe it or not, we're not related.
We're not. We actually we should find that out.
We should.
We really don't truly know if we are.
I know. That's very true. But we're so excited. We are so in love with the Fosters, and the fact that we have a spin-off is just incredible because a lot of people don't even get to, like, I guess, fully wrap up their show. I'm a huge fan of Baby Daddy, and I was sad that they didn't get to wrap up their show. So the fact that this show got so many seasons and then got to finish it and get a spinoff is really amazing, and I think that a lot more shows deserve that. And it's always fun because when you fall in love with a character, you want the storyline to continue to go. So I guess before we start recapping the episode, I just had a quick question. What was it like knowing that you were coming into a show that had such an established fan base already?
It was kind of terrifying at first, not gonna lie, because as most of the actors here, they come out here with a dream to pursue this. So whenever they get something big like that, it's exciting, but also very intimidating. Mm-hmm. So throughout the whole audition process, which was a month long, I had heard of the Fosters before, but I had never watched it. Mm-hmm. So after the first audition, and that week leading up to the callback for the producer session, I was like, you know what, maybe it's a good idea that I should know the backstory of this story. So I binge watched all 5 seasons with my roommates, and we were just like flies on the wall, just watching this family and all this drama and the relationships and all the good things just unfold. And I fell in love with it, really, really fell in love with it. And then for the table read, their first table read, I had met Maya before because we had a chemistry read, but I met everybody else at the table read and people who were still part of the Fosters and moving on to this new show, Good Trouble. And I just became this shell of being an introvert. I was just like, hi, my name's Tommy. It's very nice to meet you. Okay, all right, that's my seat over there. I'm going to sit down. And I was just like, wow. It was because like I had been watching Sierra and Maya do their thing for all those 5 seasons and seeing their character growth and just, you know, seeing who they are now. And they're such accepting people. But after that, in the first episode, we had that big family dinner, which still, you know, it carries on from the Fosters. Mm-hmm. The show very much carries on that essence of the Fosters. And when we were sitting there, it was all of us, all the main characters. And in between takes, we would just be cracking jokes and telling stories and all that stuff. So, like, immediately we just became this close family. And I was like, there's nothing to be scared about. This is quite nice.
Yeah.
But, it was a beautiful family that had grown from that first day to where it is now.
Right. Yeah. And I love how that family kind of storyline moves on, even though it's like totally different and nothing like it was before. Like the communal aspect that it keeps coming back to is awesome. But I wanted to ask you guys, what did you guys think of this whole obviously repeating storyline from episode 1 where Cali and Mariana are struggling with their jobs? And do you think that they're going to make it through? What's going on?
Yeah, I think that they will make it through. Like, they're very strong women. And, you know, last episode, just on the roof, they're like, Adam's Fosters don't give up. And I think that's true. That's their motto. Like, no matter how many obstacles they run into or how many times they're kind of shoved down, they always get back up. But I don't know. I think that because it is, you know, their first, like, real kind of big girl jobs, and there's always going to be these struggles, especially when they're dealing with industries that are, you know, primarily male dominated. I think that's a huge thing. It's not just something that is resolved in, you know, one episode. I think it's going to be an ongoing struggle, like, throughout the entire series, which I love, because it's just, you know, adds more realism into it, and there's just so many, like, different things to explore with that whole kind of, like, sphere that they've set up.
Yeah, I think I agree with what Ben said, that Kelly might actually be able to have an influence on Judge Wilson, but I think we'll have to wait and see. But I don't see her giving up easily on that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Even though last night was very much a setback for the party.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I just think that they're discovering what it means to be an adult. I really don't think we're always prepared for what it means to adult. And that's why we call it adulting, because it is a learning curve. Because we think we're prepared, but we're lied to.
Yeah.
We are being lied to. But I love the I'm so serious. But I love the realism that the show's actually bringing to life also. It is hard to be an adult. It is hard to live in LA, and it's hard to be in either feel like, if you're Cali, that you really don't think you want to be your career. Mm-hmm. So she also has to decide, does she want to be a lawyer? Does she want to be an artist? What does she truly want out of life? And again, that's what we have to discover when we are adulting.
Absolutely. Cali is obviously struggling right now with working for, the Jamal case, and the fact that she's so passionate and wants to do what's right, but she doesn't feel like she has an influence. Then she completely misses the call when she's supposed to go in to work on the case. It's just unfortunate because I feel like she has so much to give to the world and so much to do for what's right, and the fact that she keeps kind of, because of her own immaturity, she keeps kind of tripping up and she's not able to kind of figure everything out. I think that this show is definitely we're gonna kind of see her come into her own. She's gonna keep making mistakes, obviously, but she's gonna, I think, grow from them and actually be more of an adult this time, because we've always seen her as like the kid, and now it's time for her to like grow up. So I mean, obviously they're not gonna get it on the first day, and so I'm just excited to see what's gonna happen.
It's also like the pressure that's built up. Like, yeah, these young adults still have space to mature into, but it's also all the pressure that came into that moving and not knowing that it was a communal loft living space, and then all their stuff got stolen, and she's now working for a conservative judge and kind of got shot down and embarrassed on her first day. So it's like a lot of things that were built up, and she's, as you guys saw, she was in her room working and studying and doing her thing and being or just having that responsibility and acknowledging that, and then it just kind of broke loose.
Right.
And I feel like everybody kind of goes through that cathartic moment where like, screw it all, let me just take some shots.
And I'm over here impressed, like, how easily everyone was throwing back those shots. I was like, whoa, no face or anything. They're just like, boom. And I'm like, I could not do that.
I can't either.
Yeah, but I thought it was great how we saw Jude. He came back into the picture, and it's so crazy because if you binge the seasons like so quickly, you saw him grow up from like this little kid to like now he's an adult who's like talking to his sister about his sex life.
Yeah.
It was insane. And when I saw him at the table read, I like went up to him. I was like, before I even introduced myself, I was like, Jude, you're so big. And I just like gave him a hug, and he laughed, and I thought that was hilarious, because then like you look back on the very first episode of that, or like when it is that Jude came into play, and just seeing like how much he's grown, and just he's such an intelligent kid.
I do love how consistent his voice is, though. Like, even though he's aged up like so much, like a decade almost or something, between the first season of the Fosters and the show, but his essence and his character, it just feels so familiar, and it feels like nothing has changed. It's like an appropriate growing and like evolution of his character, which is awesome. Like, I don't think that there's any disconnect between the two shows. Like, it just transferred really smoothly, and I'm just so glad, because the Fosters, that's where you first fell in love with all these people, and so it's just like a nice place to come back to.
Yeah, he still has that wisdom of a 60-year-old man with a little tiny body. I'm just like,
I know.
Talk to me. Tell me a story. I'm intrigued.
I feel like he's gonna have a wizard hat and like a beard,
I'd be curious to see what his like post-grad transition into adulthood is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's that'd be really interesting to know. And I'm really excited that they are going to be bringing some of the characters back. I know the moms are going to be in an upcoming episode. I'm not sure which one, but I'm so excited to see them come back. And I know that they're totally going to freak out when they see the living conditions. And it's going to be so great.
I will say this. Jude, why did you not take her phone away from her?
Oh my gosh,
like,
Mariana's
really?
phone?
Just like, he's just laying there chilling on the floor as she's like making multiple calls. And you just go, okay.
There's no stopping her, though. Like, there's no stopping
You could have, like, just, hey,
Mariana.
Mariana, can I see something for a second? Just wait till her guard was down, grab it, and run out the room.
I don't know. I just feel like she would have found a way to get it back.
Yeah.
I would hit it somewhere maybe she wouldn't look. like I don't know what place in the commune she might not look, but I would have figured it out real quick.
Yeah.
Just never leave a drunk person with their phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just food for thought.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
you know.
No, they're definitely all struggling with their work fails and navigating that space. But I'm curious for you, Tommy, when you first came out to LA, did you ever have that moment when you're like, crap, this is harder than I thought it would be?
Yeah, I mean, like I knew that it was gonna be like quite the risk to come out here. So in 2015 is when I dropped out from college and I moved back home to pursue this dream because I was going to do the BFA acting program up in college, and I was already there for 3 years. I had missed the entry point for the program, so it would have started another year, and it's a 2-year program, so like 6 years in total in college. It was just unhealthy, and I was partying. I was with all my best friends, and it was just like it wasn't the best lifestyle at all, and I just needed to get out. So yeah, I moved back home for that year and was trying to decide whether I wanted to go to New York just to be around like-minded people in this industry, because in my hometown I felt like very anomalous, feeling like I was the only one trying to do this. And granted, there were people who were part of drama or like the drama class in high school and all that, and they went off to college and all that, but I felt like I couldn't really talk to anybody about it. Especially like my family. Like my family was just used to like having like a traditional job and just be like, go into business, go into accounting or do whatever. And just going into the arts seemed very improbable for them. And then I stayed strong with like this newfound passion that I found back in college. And I was like, no, this is what I'm gonna do. So I was thinking New York, Atlanta, because it's not as saturated, at least I thought. And then I was like, LA, that's a risk. But yeah, at the last second, like on the last month in December, which is when I drove out, I packed up everything into my car, maybe had like $900, maybe $1,000 in my pocket, and I was like, let's go. We'll figure it out along the way. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I drove out there, and I did do a little bit of modeling in Miami. But I had just come back from college. I was weighing like 220 pounds. I worked at a brewing company, so I was drinking a lot of beer and not eating the best of foods. But I was working out, so I was like a chunky, somewhat. It was kind of weird, but
a bloated buff guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But in Miami, with the modeling agency that I was with Wilhelmina, I look on their main board and they're like all these ripped Greek god-looking dudes, and here I come from college. I'm like, hey, they're like, you need to lose weight. I was like, I know. Needless to say, I didn't get many jobs there. It was maybe like three jobs. But that's not what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted to do, and I was dead set on that path. And then I came out to LA, and the first 2 years, my modeling agency from Miami hooked me up with Wilhelmina out here, and then that kind of got me started with all the jobs that I got with them, like a lot of lifestyle shoots and campaigns and stuff, which was really nice, because I was constantly thinking in my head, I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to get this part-time job to help pay rent and my car payments and phone and all that, while trying to find the time to get to these auditions. So I knew that it wasn't gonna be easy, but there was just this burning fire within me, just thinking that it was inevitable, that like this love that I have never felt for anything else, like it had to be true. Like I needed to keep pursuing this, and I wasn't going to give up. But yeah, I was blessed to have the opportunity to have like a pretty good modeling career for those first 2 years, and it gave me the chance to get into classes whenever I wanted. I gained some confidence and seeked out some representation, and then from there they just started sending me out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I've really loved seeing your career like bud, and it's just been so exciting. Like obviously we're huge fans of Riverdale, so seeing you on that, and then now this, and I was like so excited for you, because I mean, just like such a lead character, like you're a really big character in the show, so that's got to be exciting, and just go to show for you and for anyone else who has a dream that if you keep pursuing it, it only takes one yes.
Yeah.
Like Lady Gaga says.
Exactly. And like the thing is that like if that passion is genuine and true, if the love for it is genuine and true, don't give up.
Right.
Like that's the word. That's like spiritual suicide right there for those dreams. And like if you do give up, then you never know if like right around that corner it would have been that one yes that could have changed your life. And yeah, that's just kind of and even with the no's, because there were several,
Right.
and some opportunities where I got really far. This was 2017 of November. I got to a screen test for one show on is it CW, the originals? It's a
Yes, CW.
Oh, yeah.
It's a spin-off of that, and I went there, and it was just two guys, myself and his name is Arya Shagasemi, and both of us had like just started off in this industry, and to be there together, be like, okay, we're doing something right, because they noticed us. This is good, no matter what happens. I'm extremely grateful to have met you and happy for this opportunity, whoever gets it. And he ended up getting it, and it took a long time to find that out. And when I first got the call, I was just like,
Right.
I was like,
It's like
damn, I was right there. So close.
that spinoff didn't work out, but hey, this one did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like that's what I was thinking. It was just like, okay, this. So yes, it hurt. I accepted those emotions and just felt them and just kind of washed them away.
Absolutely.
And I thought like, okay, if this didn't happen, there just has to be something better in store for me.
Absolutely, yeah.
And just keeping that mentality, that positive mentality for that is that's kind of what happened. And then I got this, and I'm so very grateful for this opportunity.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your character's relationship on the show with Callie. What do you guys think of what's going on right now? Like, obviously, his character and her are hooking up, but do you think that you see a future between the two, or what do you think's going to happen?
I don't know. I kind of do. Just because their chemistry is so strong, I feel like. And I mean, I kind of touched on last week. I feel like they are very similar people in ways. Like they're both kind of, soulful, like introspective and like artistic and things like that. And so I think that they are clicking on an emotional level as well as a physical level. And I think that, that's kind of what lays the groundwork for a future relationship. So I definitely think that there's going to be more of them at least exploring what they could look like together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that Jude's advice really helped her because I think she's just sorting things out and she needed that voice of reason to come in and help guide her there. And based on that last conversation they had by the pool, I can see some things sparking.
Absolutely.
I think it's going there.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I'm like K Square says I'm full on gaily. So I am here for that.
Gaily? That's a new one. I haven't heard that.
What have you heard?
I've heard Galley, and I
Galley.
spoke with Maya about it, and she was like, I don't know.
It's probably just like I just read it like the way I
Okay.
And there was another one, I think it's like Kael.
Ooh, I like that.
That one sounds a little better than Galley.
I'm
And
naming my
sounds
child
what did you just say?
Like I read it wrong, but yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one better. Kael sounds
Kael.
hot.
That is
Sounds kind of like kale.
Kale. Delicious.
I'm here for that, though. I am here because she needed to process it. Like, yeah, I avoided you for a week, but it's because I have to process my own feelings about.
Didn't you know to close your blinds? Come on.
I know, right? I'm literally living in a greenhouse. It's an old greenhouse on this rooftop. I'm just like, everybody look at me.
I know. You're just putting on a show. Like,
I mean,
I guess if you live at the Coterie, you can't really afford curtains.
True. True.
that is true.
That's so true.
I'm really wanted to see where your relationship is going to go because you're right. They are very both spiritual and artsy. Yeah, there it is, artsy. And you have a very spiritual bond that I don't think you can really get that chemistry with anybody else. Mm-hmm. Even with Brian, even though Brian's hot, like even he notices like there's something between you guys, and I'm here for it. So
yeah, I feel like we haven't also seen Callie really mentioning her art or having that outlet, and I think that could really help her. Could you see Gael kind of leading her down that direction, getting her back into her art?
Or the other way around, who knows? But like I think that's that deeper connection there is that like Callie was very much into the arts in the Fosters, and then she took this whole lawyer route. And so to meet somebody who is just as passionate about the art as she was or once was, I think that's where like they kind of connect right there. And all of the pain and emotions that go into Gael's art itself when he's explaining it to her and how she can relate to it as well. So that just makes it even more just like, love.
Yeah, that in Stasis, like it was so powerful. Like I really loved whoever created that is a genius and amazing. It really spoke to me. So shout out to the art department for the Good Trouble. It was lit.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, we have a few more things to touch on before we move on to the next segment. But Taylor, why don't you let us know some of the cool things that are going on at AfterBuzz right now?
Yeah, so our network actually produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there is no network that works harder to serve television fans. But we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that is tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they are completely optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well. Let us know you did so in the comments and we'll thank you guys on air. Honestly, I read all the comments last week. I love hearing what you guys think, and just thanks for all the support, because you guys are so kind and lovely. But for now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes, we appreciate you guys so much. I want to touch on a few more things before we move on to the next segment. Megan, what did you think of, because I heard you were like, whenever Alice's ex-Sumi kind of used her and then basically just said she's engaged. What was going on through your head?
That's so heartbreaking, and I feel like it was salt in the wound when she asked her to be her maid of honor, and I don't feel like Sumi really knows that she's hurting her this much, and I think it's interesting how they're still so close after they broke up, and she's doing so much for her.
Right.
I think it's easy for her to put on that shield and say, oh, we're just friends, and this is what we do for each other as friends. But no one goes to all that work for someone's birthday if it's not more than that. And you can see the way she looks at her and the way she broke down. She loves her.
Yeah.
Right. That broke my heart. I was like, oh, that was so sad.
When we all read that, like, we have a group chat with everyone called the Coterie.
That's so cute.
Once everybody reads the episode, we're just like, dude, did you read this page? Oh my god! It's just like how everything unfolds. Yeah.
That is very insane. Yeah, and I did want to talk about Malika's character because, or Malika, because her brother comes over and they obviously, her mom is sick, and we find out that she was the one that kind of called, I think, child services to kind of let them know, hey, like, we're not okay. And then she assumed that they would be, stick together like Cali and Jude did after they sorted out everything. But they were actually, drifted apart. And just seeing that storyline really made me sad. And then it seems like Malika's going through a lot because she's obviously really trying to push Cali to influence Judge Wilson on the Jamal case. And it sucks because I know she's so passionate about it, but for her to tell all of her friends and kind of put Cali in that awkward, bad situation where she's supposed to keep everything confidential, I'm interested to see how that plays out, or if word gets out that Cali has been talking about her cases.
I think there's just so much gray area there, because I feel for both Malika and Cali, because it's of course Malika is so passionate about this, and of course she would want to tell her friends and just kind of spread the word, but at the same time there is limits to what Cali can do. She is just a clerk, and she does have to be kind of serious about the secrecy, so it's just hard. But I love how layered and complex all these issues are, because it's I can't just be oh, I'm Team Cali, or oh, I'm Team Malika. I'm oh man, I see both sides of this so much. Yeah.
Sorry, you wanna go?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, it seems like Callie's really torn up about it too, because she wants to help. We saw her helping with so many social justice issues and causes in the Fosters, and it's really heartbreaking that she's just not in a position where she can do that. And I'd be curious to see how far she can push the envelope without getting fired.
Did you also see her reaction whenever she was watching the video of Jamal Thompson's mother speak to the camera or the reporter, and that she wants to do what's right, but she's working for this conservative judge, so there's only so much that she can do and kind of leverage there. So I think those emotions get in the way with the business aspect of it, or not business, but just getting down to her job, and seeing that Malika means well with all of this, and she wants to support that, but also with the struggles of knowing her position inside the clerkship. It's just, that's tough, and not being able to speak about it. So I'm sure she just wants to be this is what I'm doing.
Right.
I love Malika. I feel like me and Malika have a lot of correlation. Just also personally, is actually interesting watching, because I feel like I'm watching my life in a way, and I'm ooh. It's really hitting me at the same time, because I feel her emotions. But on the flip side of that, girl, sometimes you gotta keep your mouth shut. I really will be the one to say that you can't. Sometimes what's not your secret to tell, no matter how much you want to help the cause, you could be hurting the person you think is going to help the cause. And so it's in a way, it's just a circle of craziness and I won't say stupidity. What's a better word? Just
ignorance.
Ignorance, not being informed enough, and uninformed opinion. There it is. Just not, like, Malika not understanding why she can't, like, talk about it. And even though you know she can't talk about it, she told you she can't talk about it. But also putting her on the spot for her job, like, you could make her lose her job because you want to help the cause of just Jamal, because it's all you're focusing on.
Yeah, but I definitely understand where she's coming from because she's never felt like she had a voice, and it can have been hard. We learned more about her mother and that backstory.
Exactly.
Growing up without any resources and growing up constantly with her voice suppressed, with culturally and just within her family, like not having a say in what happens to her brother or those relationships. I can understand why she's frustrated. And I feel like having Callie's friendship with the position Callie's in, she felt like, oh, finally, like I have something to hold on to. I have hope.
Right.
Yeah, see, I'm Switzerland in these positions. I think of both sides there. I'm just very neutral, and I see, like, I agree with you, and then I agree with you completely there as well, because when you go so much time without having any kind of help or leverage, and nothing just seems to be changing, and you have that one voice that kind of comes into your life, and just so happens that she's clerking for the Jamal Thompson case. She was like, praise the Lord, yes, come on, let's work together, let's do this. So I could see, like, her excitement for it, just like, we finally have this voice. Maybe this could be that light in that dark room. So
Yeah, and I always feel like Callie ends up in these positions where she has so much weight on her shoulders to help someone else, whether that's helping someone who is undocumented seek asylum at a church like we saw in the Fosters. All those sorts of things continuously come up for her, and I think it honestly breaks her heart when she can't help.
Yeah. I know it's no fun to feel helpless in a situation. So I'm really interested to see how this storyline plays out. Obviously, this show is a lot about women empowerment, and we have this segment called "This Girl Is Dope."
Yes.
And so Taylor is going to tell us about a woman in our world that is quite dope.
Yes. So last week we kind of focused on a little bit of a woman in tech. So this week I'm going to do a woman who is in politics and law. And you guys might have heard of her because she's been in the news a lot lately, very active on social media. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She is of Puerto Rican descent, and she's actually from the Bronx. She graduated cum laude from Boston University in 2011 with a bachelor's degree in international relations and economics. So she's very, very smart. And she's 29 years old.
Wow.
She's not even 30 yet, and she is serving on Congress. So she is the youngest congresswoman in the history of the United States, which is awesome. And she's getting millennials really, really involved in politics right now, just like through utilizing social media. She does like a bunch of Instagram live streams while she's like cooking instant mac and cheese and like teaching people about like policy and different things about the government. And she's just like very much using the fact that she comes from working class roots. Like she was a bartender just a few years ago and didn't even have like enough money to rent a place in DC when she got this job. And she's just really killing it and like really changing the game in terms of politics and getting millennials involved in it. So yeah, I'd say she's
So
pretty
amazing.
dope.
Yeah, she is. She deserves a spot at the Coterie, is what I'm saying.
I feel like I see her reflected so much in Callie and Mariana too. I would almost love to see her just kind of casually like slipped into the show, not necessarily on the show, but she's on the news in the background, or Callie's talking about her or something like that.
That'd be cool.
That'd be
that
awesome.
would be really cool.
Yeah.
Little Easter egg. I like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And let's get into some news, because I heard we have a little bit of a news segment this week.
Yeah.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Yeah, so obviously because Tommy is here and he plays the wonderful character of Gael, he's just such a groundbreaking character. There's so like little bisexual representation on television and in movies, and I think even less so for men. I think when we see bisexual people, it's usually women. And so it's just so important that we do have this representation. And Joanna Johnson, who is the co-creator of Good Trouble and The Fosters, actually just gave a really great interview with Entertainment Tonight that you guys can find if you just Google it, just about why it is such a big deal. And she gives little, behind the scenes tidbits on the show too. So definitely check that out.
She also wrote this episode.
Yeah, she's great. She writes
God, I love her.
some of my
She's
faves.
such a great woman.
Yeah, that girl is dope too.
Yeah, put her in there. Yeah.
So many dope women on this show.
Many.
Absolutely. Is that all for news?
That is all. Well, sorry. You have something for news?
Well, Tommy was nominated for most dreamiest new actor as Gael.
Hey.
That Bradley Redowig, another executive producer, creator of the show, posted on his Insta story, and I saw that was just like, okay. Also, Good Trouble is not nominated. It's 100% rated on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
Like, can we give it up?
That's amazing.
100%. Like, that's only like a rare number of people and shows and movies that actually get that title. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I freaked out when I saw that. I was like, what?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm huge on Rotten Tomatoes too. I'm always on there just seeing like what it is that I should watch and so forth. And when I saw that rating, I was like, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I read an article from Vulture and they were saying that Good Trouble is the best Gen Z featured show that's ever been made.
Yeah.
I get it.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Teen Choice Awards.
I feel
Yeah,
like,
right.
I feel like
Oh man.
I feel like
That's
there's
awesome.
a character there who everyone can relate to, and it really
Absolutely,
makes
yeah.
you feel less alone in the world.
Either you can relate to it, or to them personally, or know somebody personally who can relate to that as well. That therefore you can relate to that.
There's got to be a BuzzFeed quiz, right? About who we most always one.
Someone get working on that, super
Yeah,
fans.
seriously, we gotta see. We should do it and then see like who we end up.
I'm ready.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Yes,
on the
next
show.
week. Next
That's
week we'll
good.
let you know.
Shout out to Davia's rolling of her eyes in this episode. It was everything for me. Like, even the gif of her rolling her eyes, I really didn't understand why she did it until now we see the episode. I'm like, perfect gift.
Yes.
I love her character. I think she's so spunky, and because I've seen her shows at Rockwell Table and Stage, and she's an incredible performer. And so seeing her as this role, I was super excited to see her because I've never seen her on the screen. I've just seen her live performance. And so I think she's just killer at this role. And it really broke my heart when her mother was her like polite troller online. That just killed me. I was like, that is so heartbreaking. She's trying to live her life and have this body positivity, and her mom is the one tearing her down.
Yeah.
It really broke my heart.
I mean, and it's actually true. Some mothers actually do that, and that's actually the most heartbreaking thing of it all. Like, you gave birth to the child, you're supposed to love the child unconditionally, not break them down to something that you feel is considered better.
Right.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Tommy, aside from Gael, are there any other characters on the show you feel like you really relate to?
I'm trying to think. Maybe Dennis.
Same.
Because
Oh my
even
gosh.
though what? Why?
He's just so fun.
We love that
I
actor.
loved it. No, so even his picture from the Good Trouble premiere, I was like, that's a zaddy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
That's what they call him on set. They call him Zaddy. Zaddy.
I was like, where were you? Like, cause your picture from Good Trouble and what you look like on the show, the correlate. Zaddy, how you doing that?
Yeah, he's a handsome dude. But yeah, I've gone surfing with him out in Malibu, and I think the first night that we all went out, he offered to take me home, and this is when I was like homeless and crashing on a couch throughout pilot season, and that's like when I got this role. But he lives in Santa Monica, excuse me, and he offered to take me home to Woodland Hills, and it was just like a really beautiful bonding moment between him and I, and like his past and what he knows now and his perspective and how it's shaped him. And yeah, we talked for a really long time, and he let me into his life, and this was like right off the bat. We talked like everyone, meshed together pretty well on that first day of shooting, especially like on the dinner scene. But this was like the first time when we'd all like, we mingled and let loose and really just let our minds just flood out. So that was really nice.
That is
love
really
that dude.
awesome.
He's great.
We were saying last week we already wanted Dennis spinoff.
Which girl will he bring home now?
Storm, rain.
Yeah. Sky.
You wait.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, let's get into some quick predictions before we get into your game. that you
Okay.
created
Your
for us.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I don't really know if I have many predictions right now. I feel like there's so much up in the air that I'm just gonna sit back, be quiet, and just watch next week and see what goes on.
Okay, only because I saw that little sneak peek of Mariana and Evan. They're like, she's working late, so maybe there might be a nice moment where HR is not involved after. I just pray.
After seeing the teaser,
I mean, she spilled. They bumped it. I mean, it might. They're both working late. What you gonna do? That's all.
What do you mean?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
There are
What you
other
gonna
things
do?
to do at work.
But it's like
Polite conversation.
nighttime. No, but it's nighttime. Like nobody else was there in the scene, so it was like really late. Like she's
Okay.
actually working overtime. Like she is really late at night. So you know, I don't
Okay.
know.
All right.
Things happen.
There's been a theory.
Let's get it on.
Yeah.
Not like that. Just more of just like maybe
That's
they'll
what it came
become,
off as.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll become friends. Or just HR will not be involved this time. That's why I really
Good
just
save.
truly
A
Good
hope.
nice
save. Good
moment
save.
where
I like
HR
that.
won't be involved.
I really just
I'm
hope
like, where
that.
do you work?
Kind of branching off of that, I've read a couple theories actually in our lovely YouTube comments that people are sort of predicting that perhaps Evan is like somewhere on the autism spectrum just because of the way he acts, and I hadn't thought of that before someone sort of brought it up, but I think that would be that makes a lot of sense, like looking back at his mannerisms, and I think that could be really interesting. And yeah, last week I sort of assumed, I was like, oh, he's just kind of like a rude boss, you know,
Yeah.
putting HR on her, but maybe he really does have, you know, like some social issues with himself that he just can't communicate, you know, in the way that Mariana would be used to. So I think that would be really cool. I also, I'm enjoying seeing, you know, the law clerk scenes, but I think something is up with Rebecca. Like, we saw a big montage of her doing something with that
Yeah.
memo, and I'm like, what are you doing with that? Like, I don't think it's what we expect.
Yeah.
You know
think
what I
she's
mean?
putting Callie's name on there?
As something that's not just the standard writing a memo. You know
See,
what I mean?
I wonder if she too was first like Kelly, and maybe she hoped to have a liberal influence on a conservative judge.
Interesting.
Maybe she'll use Callie to finally let her voice be heard. We'll see.
Put her
see.
agenda
I
out
actually
there.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
And as always, we can't ask you your predictions because we
You
don't want to
know.
get you in trouble.
Yep.
But speaking of trouble, Chae, take it away.
Hey guys, so we're gonna play a new game called Have You Been Good or Trouble? We have these paddles made by Primp and Popping. Well, she made the design and I DIY'd it myself.
All right, there you go.
But if you want to get paddles, she's awesome. She's on Etsy. She has her own website. Thank you so much. She's gorgeous. So we're gonna ask: is the whole Sumi and Alice relationship? Is Sumi being good or is it trouble for Alice?
That's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Come on.
We're unanimous.
Okay, and one more question for you.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's a unanimous trouble.
It's a unanimous trouble.
Yeah.
And just one more little throw because I didn't tell you guys, so it's gonna be a little surprise. Is Gael and Callie's relationship gonna be good or trouble?
Ooh, that's hard. Are we able to do boom boom?
That's what I was thinking. 'cause-
Oh,
Yeah, it's-
I'm gonna be aspirational and say
Yes.
good.
Okay.
Because I ship Kyle, Kale, whatever we're calling it. I'm here for it.
Okay, I like that.
Yes, I think they're it's going to be filled with obstacles, but you know, last episode, season 15, during the finale of the show, I think that it will have been a good thing for both of them.
I actually do agree with that. I think they're both good for each other. They just have to work through whatever obstacles are going to be, rising through the relationship.
Yeah, I'm a huge Callie fan, and I've just seen her get hurt time and time and time and time again. So you better treat her right because
I'll be watching.
Yeah, we're watching every week, and we're talking about you guys every single week.
Okay.
And guys, also, so we're gonna have the cast sign one of these paddles, and at the end of the season, we're gonna, give it away. So how you're gonna win one of these is if you're watching us on YouTube, leave a comment, put 5 stars there, and leave a review. If you're listening to us right now on iTunes, give us a 5-star review and also leave a review so that you can be entered. And at the end, we're gonna give a signed copy from the cast and producers that we have coming in paddle for you guys. And it's going to be so much fun.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Well,
I'm jealous.
yeah, I'm like, wait, can I sign one? Can you sign mine? Sure. But thank you again so much for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
Obviously, what do you think is going to happen with your relationship? Good or trouble?
I think in the end there's all good intentions
Okay.
there, but things arise. And I don't want to get too much away.
Yeah.
Because I feel like what I would say, or at least what I want to say, will just give away too much. knowing what has been announced. So you guys will just have to wait.
All right.
Okay.
We are so excited. And also, where can everyone find you on social media?
So I only have one social media platform. Unfortunately, yes, I'm boring. I have Instagram, and it's at Tommy Martinez.
All right. Well, you have the important one. Instagram
Yeah.
is the main deal. And where can everyone find you on social media?
I am at Meagan Lynn TV. Follow me. Let's chat about the show.
Yes, and you guys can find me on Twitter at @alphaba_, and on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_.
You can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram. Also, The Runaways on Mondays and Tuesdays with Megan at
Yes.
6 p.m.
All right. That's awesome. You guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones. Thank you guys so much for watching our recap of Good Trouble's The Coterie. We are so excited for next week. And Tommy, again, thank you so much for coming in. We had a blast talking to
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Congrats on all the success. And we will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.